Last week, the situation was completely chaotic, but I actually didn't know what I would be trading. And that's why it was a bit harder for me to choose the trade that I would show you, because there were so many fantastic trades. There was Odyssey, and there was Eurosty, and there was Eurosty, and there was just a ton of it. Just a lot more of it. And probably the most interesting was silver. It was just like a long time for me, long awaited. And that gold just goes, it just doesn't have a door. And the metals are going in a similar direction, meaning I expected silver to grow and start creating this amazing zone for us. And I said, this looks nice, and now it seems to me like a double top because it came from below one, then the other, and it beautifully disrupted that structure. There was a swing here, and I have a lower swing here. The structure is already a bit disrupted, but it could be traded as a double top because there was also a nice signal at the end, a nice start. It could be traded as a double top. That means a stop loss from here and a take profit somewhere up to here. 1 to 2, 3, I could easily get maybe 4, maybe 5 here. I'll set it up for you on purpose. I'd set a short from here, somewhere behind this level with the stop loss, and then aim for a take profit somewhere around here. Well, that's a bit risky, so 1 to 2, 2.5. 2, 2.5, yeah. Someone might tighten that stop loss and get to 1 to 3. But I don't really trade double tops and double bottoms anymore. You could say that I'm focusing on it early. For me, the store here was completely different, and actually my vision was, or rather my wish was, that it would break this zone that was simply evident here. And the market usually doesn't go where we want it to, but here, thank God, it actually worked out for me, or rather, the prediction I had and what I wished for to happen actually happened. So I'll just show you how it continued. The price was still hovering below that zone, then it hit the zone again like that, and you can see it. A beautiful breakthrough. It's just that this is what I wanted to see here. Sorry, I was just afraid it wouldn't come back right away, because sometimes it does. This happens with gold, the false break too, the same with oil. Sometimes it makes such a mess that it just hits the zone, sticks it out. Here it picks up the liquidity and crashes down, retests, and it runs down. I was a little afraid of that, so I was worn out here. And I thought that I really had to wait for that lazy pullback, which either happens or doesn't happen. And I started counting one, and I wanted more than just a minor pullback. So I was looking for 5 or 6 candles to form towards that slow pullback. The second candle, the third candle, and it no longer smells like a false break, at least not at first. But this beautiful impulsive candle is back in the long position, so it doesn't look like a false break anymore. And now it's slowing down the volatility. It's like, yeah, we're going up, and I like it. I like it at this stage. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candles. It's like, it's totally cool. I don't feel like it should bounce back immediately anymore. There are green candles here now, and the red candles are getting smaller, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. So now this is the classic move that you might know, but you don't really do it much. I'm setting a wait order in front of that zone. We place the stop loss just slightly behind that breakout candle. Sometimes 2, 3 pips. If you're afraid of silver, and I am a bit afraid of silver here, in the sense that it's sometimes a bit tricky. I mentioned on the stream that if I were trading this, because I pointed out this trade, I would definitely set the stop loss behind this swing. I set the stop loss behind this swing. I'm placing that in front of the zone, and the 2-to-1 ratio is somewhere around here. And this trade is my trade. I wanted this trade, and I wanted to get away from it. so that it would take me up and lift me into the clouds. That was my clear setup. And it all developed like that. I admit that at one point, I thought it had already slipped away from me. The price was trading beautifully there. It even went. As you can see, the swing went in. It was already getting close to where I planned to take profit, that there is really trading there, that it is not just my wishful thinking. And now it could be, in my opinion, and that's it. That's the situation, I believe, to be honest, in my humble opinion. And I thought to myself, well, that's it. So now the reaction has happened. So I probably missed that trade. But, I just don't turn off those wait orders. I wasn't filled. It wasn't Friday. There was no reason to turn off the wait order. I still held on. I kept waiting. And now it has happened. A few hours later, it beautifully reached that zone again, exactly where it was supposed to go. I summarize it. It beautifully pierced into that zone. I have that wait order. There's the spread, so it's important to keep in mind that there's a certain spread, which is why we also place the wait order above the zone, so that the price doesn't spike us out, or rather so that to take us in, and that spread just got us there. It takes you into that long position. Essentially, the upper line carefully paints and draws that candle. However, it is indeed the upper part which gets you into this particular trade. So here it beautifully filled me up completely. And there it is once again. There it truly is. So it wasn't within the hour. That wasn't the trade. But on the other hand, I'm always, as you know, patiently and eagerly happy to wait for money. And it was already moving more like one. Of course, many were already putting it at break even and similar nonsense, but not me, please. I waited for the take profit, left the stop loss where it should be, and just beautifully took that profit. That was probably the nicest trade. What could simply have been hidden or perhaps even concealed behind that last body? Or maybe, just maybe, it's silver. It's just trading our strategy early.